One Airpods feature exposed my fiancé, his mom, their children together and their $30 million inheritance scam. The ice cubes rattled against the glass pitcher as I poured the tea, a sharp, crystalline sound in the quiet hum of the kitchen. My hands were shaking, just a little. Not from nerves, not yet, but from a strange, heavy lethargy that had settled into my bones over the last few weeks. I blinked hard, trying to clear the fog that seemed to wrap around my brain every morning after breakfast. Just wedding stress, Kyle had told me, rubbing my shoulders with hands that felt too strong, too controlling. Drink your smoothie, babe. It has extra vitamins. You need your strength. I looked at the smoothie glass sitting in the sink, rinsed but still stained with the remnants of the green sludge he made me every day at 8 a.m. sharp. Sarah, Kyle's voice drifted in from the living room. Did you find the lemon wedges? Brenda says the tea needs lemon. Brenda, his mother, my future mother-in-law. She had moved in 2 weeks ago, temporarily, to help with the final wedding preparations. She was a whirlwind of opinions and aggressive helpfulness. She reorganized my pantry. She fired my florist. She sat in my living room, feet up on the antique coffee table I inherited from my grandfather, acting like she owned the place. Maybe because she planned to. I grabbed the lemon from the fridge. Cutting them now. I called back. I had left my phone in the living room. It was sitting on the coffee table, right next to Brenda's oversized, snakeskin handbag. I was listening to a podcast on my Airpods while I worked, but I had paused it when I walked into the kitchen. Then, I remembered a feature I had read about on Reddit. Live Listen. It turns your iPhone into a remote microphone, streaming audio directly to your earbuds. It was meant for hearing aids, but people used it for other things. I didn't suspect anything. Not really. I just wanted to know what they were whispering about. Every time I left the room, their voices dropped to a hushed, conspiratorial murmur. I figured they were complaining about my taste in flowers, or maybe Brenda was criticizing my housekeeping again. I tapped the control center on my Apple Watch. I tapped the little ear icon. Live Listen, on. The audio quality was startlingly clear. It was like I was sitting right between them. I could hear the rustle of paper, the seating chart. I could hear the clink of a pen against a glass. And then, I heard Brenda's voice. Is the supplement working? She asked. Her tone wasn't motherly. It was cold, clinical. She seemed awfully groggy during the lawyer's call today. She almost missed the clause about the trust disbursement. My knife froze halfway through the lemon. Supplement? Yeah, Kyle replied. His voice was low, smug. I've been upping the dose in her morning smoothie. It's a slow build. By the time the wedding happens next Saturday, she'll be malleable enough to sign the limited power of attorney without even reading the fine print. We'll have the deed transferred before the honeymoon is over. I dropped the knife. It hit the cutting board with a dull thud. Power of attorney. Deed transfer. They weren't planning a wedding. They were planning a heist. Good, Brenda sighed. I'm tired of playing mother. This wig is itchy, and I hate her cooking. I want to get back to Florida and tell the kids their big brother finally hit the jackpot. The world tilted on its axis. Big brother? Kyle laughed. A cruel, jagged sound. Daddy hit the jackpot, babe. Once we liquidate the estate, we're set. We can pay off the condo and get the boat. Daddy, babe. My stomach heaved. The nausea wasn't from the smoothie this time. It was from the sudden, violent realignment of my reality. Brenda wasn't his mother. She was his wife. And the kids, in Florida, they weren't his siblings. They were his children. I was marrying a man who was already married to the woman sitting on my sofa calling me daughter. What happens in the next 5 minutes isn't just a 911 call. It is a tactical lockdown of a fortress. By the time Kyle tries the handle, he won't just be trapped. He's going to be the star of a live stream sent directly to the local precinct. But the real twist? It's what I find in the pantry while I'm waiting for the sirens. The bottle of vitamins isn't vitamins. It's a chemical cocktail that turns up a groggy bride into a corpse if the dosage is wrong. Follow on-screen instructions for full video.